It was on June 6th, 1944, when Allied forces launched a daring invasion on the beaches of Normandy, France during World War II. D-Day was a pivotal moment, a turning point that marked the beginning of the end of tyranny and oppression. It is crucial that we remember D-Day and the sacrifices made by those brave men who stormed the beaches under relentless fire. Their courage, determination, and selflessness in the face of unimaginable danger should never be forgotten. Their actions remind us of the values we hold dear: freedom, democracy, and justice. Remembering D-Day serves as a powerful reminder of the horrors of war and the cost of freedom. It reminds us that peace should never be taken for granted and that it requires constant vigilance and sacrifice. By honoring the memory of those who fought and died on D-Day, we pay tribute to the legacy and ensure that their sacrifices were not in vain. D-Day also teaches us valuable lessons about unity and collaboration. It was a remarkable example of nations coming together, setting aside their differences, and working towards a common goal. It is a testament to what can be achieved when people unite with a shared purpose. Let us remember D-Day not just as a historical event, but as a symbol of the indomitable human spirit and triumph of good over evil. May we always cherish the memory of those who gave everything for our freedom. And may their bravery inspire us to strive for a world of peace, understanding, and justice. Good morning. Welcome to Coffee with Alain. I just wanted to pay a tribute to the brave men who on June 6, 1944, stormed those beaches. If you've ever seen some of the movies, especially Saving Private Ryan, you get a little glimpse, just a tiny little glimpse of the horror that they went through. Only those that were there can actually know what it was like. And it must have been terrifying. It must have been chaotic. Seeing your friends and fellow soldiers being killed left and right, hoping and praying that you're not next, but driving forward with determination to complete the mission for the greater good. I have my ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country mug today. It seemed fitting because they sure did a lot for our country back then and for the world. If you remember, they were fighting to stop the annihilation of a race of people, a group of people, and the taking over of countries, and who knows where they would have stopped if they hadn't been stopped. So just take a moment to remember the brave men that did that. And there were women in support groups. And take a moment to think about what they fought and died for: freedom, democracy, and justice. And what can we do to ensure freedom, democracy, and justice continue? Dixon says survivor's guilt very overpowering, with people dropping around left and right. Yeah, there was a lot of that too with the people that made it. They made it home and their fellow soldiers didn't. And the horrors of going through that affected people. And back then, they didn't have the counseling and things for post-traumatic stress disorder that we have now. They just sucked it up, went on with their lives. My grandfather was on beaches in the Pacific, 2 Purple Hearts and a Silver Star. About the only thing he ever told me is we're having dinner one time, and he said, "You don't forget being shot. You don't forget shooting people either." End of conversation. That's just sort of how that generation was. Let's take a moment today. Think about what they did. Honor them. Remember them. And then think about how we can strive to ensure that we have freedom, democracy, and justice, and understanding and peace in today's world. Difficult to accomplish, but something that we often need to remember and strive for. Kellen says, awesome message. Thank you, Kellen. And I'm going to sign off and just take a moment to remember. And if you can, share this around. Make sure other people take a moment to remember what they sacrificed so we could have what we have today.